This film carries two titles, And Life Goes On and Life and Nothing More. Both phrases pulse deeply through every scene of the movie. There is one specific moment I can never forget, an old woman struggling with all her might, desperately trying to unearth a small tea kettle from the rubble. This scene carries both titles. Do you know why? And Life Goes On, 1992, is the second installment of Abbas Kiarostami's Coca trilogy. It is rooted in reality based on the director's own journey back to the disaster zone after a massive earthquake to find the child actor from his previous film, Where is the Friend's House? The movie is built on what Abbas witnessed during that trip. The title And Life Goes On uses that "and" to refer to everything that happened before, the tragedy, the destruction, while insisting that life must move forward. Life and Nothing More suggests that there is nothing more vital, more sacred, than the simple act of existing. Abbas beautifully portrays these themes through a single road trip. What we see in this film are the experiences of a father and son passing through a landscape of ruin. You could call this place the space between the past and the present, a place where the past they loved has crumbled, yet people must navigate those ruins to walk into the future. Even though the funerals aren't even over, those who remain are already busy with the business of living. The father and son head toward Coca, passing through numerous devastated areas. Along the way, they meet people surrounded by loss. Some even lie to themselves, pretending their destroyed homes are still standing just to keep their spirits alive. When they arrive somewhere in the wreckage, there is that old woman. Can you imagine? Her entire family is gone, her world is in pieces, yet she is exhausting herself to retrieve a kettle. After the father asks why she is trying so hard, he realizes it isn't a valuable treasure, it's just an ordinary tea kettle. As he helps pull the kettle from the debris, she remarks that she hadn't had a cup of tea in 3 days. Life must go on. Perhaps she mourned for 3 days, but after that she decided her life must continue, and it must have its own flavor. There is a saying that when you come face to face with death, you understand the taste of life more clearly. Perhaps that tea gave a deeper meaning. A single cup of tea might be the only thing she has to soothe her immense grief. Survival requires something to hold on to. For a woman who lost her husband and her home, that routine cup of tea became her lifeline. In lives where we must manufacture meaning out of the meaningless, we need to be able to savor a sunset. We need green leaves on a tree visible through a window. We need landscapes. We need films. We need songs. We need poetry. We need a cup of tea. In our lives, with the suffering of the Turin horse, we need something that, if not heals our wounds, at least makes them bearable. As Nietzsche put it, Amor Fati, the love of one's fate, loving your own destiny. He said that in human existence, nothing more is needed than this. There are things we have loved that allow us to love life. We live in times like these, fearing those things might disappear, yet hoping they are indestructible. The father and son encounter other people who share the same experience, like the newlywed couple who lost many relatives. But at the end of the film, the refugees are sleeping in an open field. Yet, in the middle of that field, there is a television. Despite the hardship, they are trying to catch a signal to watch the World Cup. When the father asks the man who is trying to catch a signal, "With the earthquake and all the mourning, you're going to watch the game?" He replies, "I'm in mourning too. I lost my little sister and 3 nieces and nephews, but what can we do? The World Cup comes once every 4 years, and life goes on." He said the World Cup only comes every 4 years. The next one will be a different game entirely, and so life goes on. As long as there are songs, movies, landscapes, sunsets, and World Cups, we can still find joy in being alive, can't we? As long as these things remain, we can still find the flavor of life. The World Cup matches won't ever truly end, will they? There will always be another one coming, won't there? We can live with that. In times like these. Sometimes filmmaking is like writing poetry. You've seen certain poems, the ones filled with fancy metaphors and complex words that fail to make you feel a thing. I believe the great masters use complex metaphors for emotions that words alone cannot reach. We always receive a certain, undeniable feeling from them. But in works that are forced, we feel nothing, unless we force ourselves to. Conversely, there are poems so simple they seem like nothing, yet they are incredibly beautiful. If you don't have a heart for poetry, you might not see the difference between that simplicity and something mundane. But writing those kinds of poems is much harder. It isn't about theory, it's something you know through pure feeling. Abbas films the way one writes that second kind of poetry. He always gives his films titles that are inseparable from the soul of the film itself. Abbas Kiarostami is the poet who used the 24 frames